Alright, we're going to take the test that we've created in Microsoft Word and we've saved into our folders. And we're going to pull it into the Respondus so that we can deploy it to Blackboard to use. Now you have to make sure again that you've done a couple things, that you have numbered them correctly with the number followed by the period or followed by the bracket, followed by your question and your question choice answers with an asterisk in front of the correct question choice answer. If you're doing true and false, it's the same thing. Remember, you can add pictures, you can add tables, you can add all kinds of different things in here that you want to use. If it's a true and false, it's the same thing, except for you need to say asterisk A, true, false. So you have to denote it true or false, kind of like a multiple choice, but only two options, I guess is the best way to describe it. You can do the multiple responses. Again, it just has to have that type, :MR. You can do matching, it has to have the type, :MT, and it also must have at least 3 options, and it must have that equal sign in the middle. And yes, you could do short answer, a paragraph, but again, I would avoid you not to do those. But they're there, and just in case, for whatever reason, you want to use them, you can. I just say don't use them. Remember, if I want to do a short answer, I'm going to be better off creating a wiki or a discussion post where I'm going to ask the students that they're going to have to tell me something about it, and I'm going to check it there. Same thing if I'm actually looking for essay writing capabilities and my students actually want to see how well they can write them. I'm going to create an assignment, and I'm going to use like Turnitin or the Safe Assign, and I'm going to have them submit it to me that way, and I'm going to grade it there. I'm not going to actually use that in the testing format. I'm not going to. This is more of a straightforward formative assessment of either they got the basic knowledge or not. So this is not essay. It's really not best practice, best use to check your students' essay and their generic basic writing abilities using the Blackboard testing. It's just not what's recommended. So it's there if you want to, you just feel like you need to. But again, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's there for you if you want it. I want to make sure you have your options. So I have this folder and I've saved it. I have purposely gone through and made sure that I renumbered number 1 to 3, so it's going to give me an error message here in a minute. So this was done on purpose because I want to show you how to fix an error message. So we're going to go to find that Respondus program. You may have to go to All Programs, Respondus, Campus 4.0, or wide, or higher, wide. Give it a minute, a little patience. And then go to Import Questions, and then you have to tell it the file type. Probably 98% of you will be at the docx, because most of you are going to be working in MS Word 2007 or higher. Then we have to browse, and this is another reason why it's so important to save your files in the correct place. So again, I put everything under that Save 5656 folder that I created. Again, my luck, it's probably a legitimate course. I was just playing with the number to use for example. Week 1, and here's the test. And then you have to actually give it a name. I advise you to stick to the initials that are used for the course, and the same course description number, and then even get more descriptive. So let's say week 1. So I'm being very descriptive, and the more descriptive you are, the easier it will be for you later if you come back and you need to modify one of these tests to deploy it again. It makes it a lot easier for you to find it, because sometimes we'll forget what they are. So if we try to if we try to just title it like just Respondus, we'd be like, oh, is it Respondus creating a test, or is it Respondus how to pull a test? There's different things. So just be more descriptive there. And hit preview. And this is where you sometimes have to have patience, because the more complicated your test is, the more questions you have, the more images you have, tables, etc., the longer it's going to take. Now here's the great thing about Respondus, it automatically gives you error messages. So it tells me right here that the question number 3 appears more than once in the imported file, and that something has a duplicate question title. This is number 13, so let's go find out. So it says number 3 has been used twice, and it is correct because I purposely did that. So I'm going to go change that to 1. So it gives you those error messages to let you know there's something wrong. And let's scroll down to 13 and see what could be wrong there. And when I look at 13, I do not see a matching answer choice unless it's reading just the type part of it, in which it could be. So you just want to go check those kind of things to make sure. Alright, so everything here looks good. So I'm going to do a Save As now. And I want to make sure it's going back into that Save 56, Week 1, etc. So that's where I want to make sure it goes to, so you can read and follow. I don't advise you just click on the Save option, because it could just save to random places. So I always do like a Save As to make sure it's going to the right place. I'm going to go to Respondus. Now all I did was open that Word document and make the changes. And I'm going to hit the Preview button again, because again, everything's linked. It's going to that folder looking for it. And so now the only warning I'm getting is that question 13 has a duplicate title, and I've checked it and I know that it doesn't, so it's not something I need to worry about. And I'm going to click finish. And sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. You just have to have a little patience with it. And there we go. Okay. And now you can come in here and you can go view and it change different things before we go and publish it. So you can see essentially what it looks like when students are viewing it. So let's tell it, okay, we're out of it. So there's our options. All right, now let's go in. We're save. Let me show you one last little quick attempt before we go to the publishing, because it's a little more in depth. You may find that you have messed something up. So if you go to your document settings here that you have, and if you scroll down to Respondus projects, you will find folders, because Respondus automatically builds these folders for you, so that everything that you have for it is in there. So if you find that you have created a test for like week 1 and it's the wrong one and it's not what you want to use, if you go here and delete that, and then you can go do it again. Because I have had some professors that have had that problem. They've gone through the naming properly and they're doing all that, and they make a mistake and they realize it and they go back in and they have problems with editing. Most of them find it's just easier just to pull it in again, just edit the test and make another one, but they can't because that project already exists. Delete the project and do it again and you'll be okay. Alright, congratulations. Next step is, how do we get it from Respondus to Blackboard?